Hey, what's up guys? My name is Sal, and this is another expedition log. Today we're visiting the filming location of the Starcourt Mall from the third season of Stranger Things. While this mall enjoyed fame during its time dressed up as a prop from 1985, its reputation suffered due to crime of all flavors, from gang violence to drugs, and even murder inside the mall itself. This mall failed to recover, and was pushed further into the ground by the inept Moonbeam. As always, I hope you're all well out there, having a good time all the time. Also, only a small portion of my audience is actually subscribed to me, so if you find yourself digging this video, I kindly ask that you consider subscribing and ringing the bell to get notified of more awesome free content in my ExLog series. Today, I'd like you all to come take a walk with me through the Gwinnett Place Mall in Duluth, Georgia, where I got kicked out by security for using the bathroom. But first, a word from our sponsor. The commercial work of WTOC TV producer Jack North from the 1980s, showcasing Enmark gas and the slings and arrows of little Brian from the video station. Enjoy.
Step off your shoes.
Flee with me to the marvelous magic world of commercials. Who knows? We may also see a story.
It's so easy at Enmark.
At Enmark, I never have to wait in line.
The lengths Jane would go to for Enmark are the stuff of legend.
Don't plug this in until I count to three.
Yeah.
Mama's ready. 1.
Oops. The Gwinnett Place Mall was a co-development between Cadillac Fairview and the Scott Hudgens Company. The 1.1 million square foot mall featured 150 specialty shops and was anchored by Davison's, Rich's, and Sears. The mall brought over 2,000 jobs to the area, becoming almost the biggest employment opportunity, rivaled only by the local school systems, which employed just over 3,000 people. This mall was a huge deal for Gwinnett County, and its opening was met with an incredibly positive welcoming. Georgia Governor Joe Frank Harris wielded a $30,000 pair of diamond-studded scissors to cut the ribbon at 9:45 a.m. Wednesday, February 1st, 1984. Just 2 years after the mall opened, a Mervyn's came in as the fourth anchor in 1986, and shortly after, Davison's was converted into a Macy's following a merger between the two companies. Then in 1993, a Parisian opened as the fifth anchor space. Just 2 years later, Mervyn's shuttered after being acquired by Parisian. And then a few years later, a JCPenney opened in the old Mervyn's spot in 1998. Despite all of this anchor shuffling, Gwinnett Place thrived through the 1980s and 90s. And this was mainly because it was the only mall in Gwinnett County at the time. However, towards the late 1990s, the Mall of Georgia opened in Beaufort, and then 2 years later, Discover Mills opened, which was later named to Sugarloaf Mills. In response to this nascent local competition, Gwinnett saw some slight renovations near the turn of the millennium, which included the removal of the lush greenery, some updated lighting, and replacing the lower level floors with marble. It was a noble attempt to bring this mall up to competition weight, but time would prove that it wouldn't be enough. At the start of the 21st century, the Mills Corp went on a massive shopping spree between 2002 and 2004, spending over $2 billion snatching up malls across the planet. By January 2002, the Mills Corp paid $539.9 million for most of the Cadillac Fairview portfolio. And 1 year later, in May 2003, they purchased both Gwinnett Place and Town Center at Cobb for an aggregate purchase price of $62.5 million. But these two Atlanta area malls had a combined outstanding balance of $231.3 million, both with a 30-year amortization schedule with their respective balloon repayment date in April 2007. So keep that in mind. Remember that fact for later. Back at Gwinnett Place in 2003, Federated Department Stores found themselves owning both Davison's and Rich's. So the Davison's was closed, and a Rich's/Macy's co-branding was added. By 2005, the Rich's co-branding was phased out, and the anchor was branded solely a Macy's. The Parisian closed in early 2007 after being acquired by Belk in a $285 million deal, and it was converted to a Belk in September 2007. Later that year, the Mills Corp was bought out by Simon in a deal totaling just over $7.9 billion, with the transaction closing on April 6, 2007, thereby making Gwinnett Place a Simon Mall. After Simon acquired the Mills Corp, there were two outstanding mortgages secured by Gwinnett Place, one for $35.6 million and another for $79.2 million. So, Simon refinanced Gwinnett Place with a $115 million mortgage on May 23, 2007, just 1 month after that massive balloon repayment was due. Shifty maneuvers with your money there, Simon. Shifty maneuvers. This is the former Belk concourse, and as you can see, it's now drywalled off. But stick around in the episode, we're going to be getting behind that drywall, so stay tuned. Into the 2010s, Simon had began refocusing their efforts on only the top performing malls in their portfolio, allowing the underdogs to just sit and decay. They actually committed to a massive renovation to the Lenox Square Mall in the Buckhead district of Atlanta, which is only about 20 minutes to the southwest of Gwinnett. It was around the time of the Lenox Square renovations that Simon seemed to completely forget about Gwinnett. On paper, Simon blames their failed malls of the early 2010s on the recession and nearby competition, but they were actively pumping cash into their own properties, almost with the purpose-driven intent to cause their underperforming malls to die, forcing foreclosures and a subsequent sale to get them off of their balance sheets. But while they were losing interest in their languishing property in Duluth, the banks were starting to watch with a keen eye. C3 Asset Management is a special servicer that's called in to handle accounts that are in danger of defaulting. In late 2011, they were called in by the bank handling Simon's Gwinnett Place mortgage to handle the account. And it was around this time that the former Davison space was converted into an international store called Megamart. By February 2012, Simon simply gave up on Gwinnett Place and disposed of their interest in the mall, causing the mall to change hands back to the bank. If you remember back to the shady maneuvering Simon pulled in 2007 when their balloon repayment was due and they refinanced the property, the foreclosure in 2012 resulted in the bank receiving 66% less than the original value of that loan. They got $39 million for Gwinnett Place, against its initial $115 million valuation. Obviously, the bank wanted to try to make at least something back on the property, so they stuck it on the market immediately. Moonbeam must have caught the stench of another dying mall in the air, and they pounced on the opportunity to ruin yet another property solely for long-term profit. After failing to operate as a discount version of itself, the Belk shuttered in 2013, and the wing was drywalled off. We'll see that in just a bit. Later that year, Moonbeam bought the mall for $13.5 million, with the deal closing on October 11th, 2013. Moonbeam made multiple claims that they would be redeveloping the mall to bring new life to the property, but failed to submit redevelopment plans every time, just like they did at Burlington Center and Shopping Town Malls and our beloved Century 3. Moonbeam CEO Steve Maxon, speaking about Gwinnett Place, was quoted saying, quote, "I'm not your best friend, I'm your only friend," close quote. By this, I think he intended to portray himself as a martyr and the only one willing to take on this ailing mall. And in the same breath, he would recuse himself of any liability for the property's success. It was just 2 years later, on April 4th, 2015, when JCPenney would cease operations at Gwinnett Place, shuttering their store. By 2017, tenants were fleeing Gwinnett Place in droves after Moonbeam's failed promises to redevelop the property with a new hotel, restaurants, and residences and all this great stuff they promised. Nick Messino, then Senior Vice President of the Gwinnett County Chamber of Commerce's Economic Development arm, publicly called for Moonbeam's ouster. He said, quote, "We have to replace Moonbeam Development. They talk and talk and talk and talk and do nothing. The answer is we don't have a professional developer that owns the property that knows what the hell they're doing," close quote. This footage of the hidden Belk wing was provided to Quite Studios courtesy of my very good buddy, Anthony from Ace's Adventures. And coming up, we'll be seeing the food court / Sears courtyard, all dressed up in its 1985 decor as the Starcourt Mall from Stranger Things Season 3. Thanks again, Ace. You rock, dude. I just want to take this opportunity in the middle of this episode to remind you guys to join the Dead Malls of Discord server. We like to collaborate a lot, between channels, and we share a lot of information together. It's a really great place to come and meet people who have a shared interest in dead malls and stuff like this, so make sure to join the Dead Malls of Discord server. The link is down in the description below, and it's totally free to join. Just download the app on your phone or computer and click the link. In late 2017, after a gruesome turn of events, the body of 19-year-old Silling Man was found on December 21st, 2017 in the abandoned subway right here at the Gwinnett Place Mall food court. A mall maintenance worker found her body, and police say she had been murdered and left in the back room of the subway for almost a month before they found her body. Cell phone tower records show her and her boyfriend, Emmett Davis Jr., were both at the Gwinnett Place Mall the day of her murder, and Davis's fingerprint was found in a bloodstain on a doorknob, which turned out to be the blood of Silling Man. This scumbag brought his girlfriend to the mall, killed her, left her body in the back room of a subway, and just walked out. The jerk-off that killed Silling Man, he just skipped town and went up to New York for months, and he wasn't arrested until June 2018. Can you believe that? Not only did it take them about a month to find her body, but it took them 6 months to get this murderous piece of garbage in handcuffs. That's despicable. And I hate to say it, but it really looks bad on the mall too. For them to let their mall fall into such disrepair and to be so blind to the status of their own mall that a dead body sits in the food court for a month. Not that they had anything to do with this, but is Moonbeam that horribly inept at managing their malls that a dead body of a 19-year-old girl can start to mummify for weeks within their mall? The entire story is chilling, disgusting, and just wrong, and my condolences and thoughts are with Silling Man's family. It's just awful. By 2018, the entire stretch of the mall, from the center court down to the food court, where we are right now, was nearly vacant, which I'm not surprised of, and by September, Sears had announced that they would be closing their Gwinnett Place location. Later that year, the mall would be used as the film set for Stranger Things Season 3, turning the empty Sears wing and food court into the Starcourt Mall, where they fabricated storefronts depicting their 1985 appearance. Despite a robust reception from Stranger Things, the mall gained virtually no real-world traffic or growth in the wake of the Battle of Starcourt. Tourists flocked to the mall to see the set pieces, and after vandals got too handsy with the set, it was torn down entirely. By October of 2020, I showed up to Gwinnett Place Mall for my first and only time visiting, while on a massively long drive between Baltimore and New Orleans. As I walked around, I got serious abandoned landmark mall vibes, and this mall counts for one of the most vacant properties I've ever filmed. There were a few people walking around while I was there, but I could only see a couple of stores open. As I rounded towards the Sears concourse, I saw tape strung from end to end and signs dangling from the trash cans, which I had to read up close and off camera. I also had to squint pretty hard because I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't really read it too well. These signs threatened to charge anyone that crossed them with a trespass. So I didn't even try entering the Sears wing because I'm not about to catch a trespassing ticket, especially in Georgia so far from home. At this point in the day, I'd been on the road for hours, with many more hours ahead of me, and I really needed to use the bathroom. I had my mask on and wasn't wearing my glasses because they fog up with the mask. Made evident from me squinting at the trespassing signs, I really couldn't read words too well, especially in darker places. In my experience, bathrooms are usually off the beaten path in malls, and most of the time they just have a little sign dangling from the ceiling. I walked down a corridor looking for the bathroom, since that's where they usually are in malls, only to find some electrical stuff and the mall offices. When I came out of the mall management corridor, the security guard was standing right there waiting for me, and he started berating me for what he called trespassing, holding his radio and cell phone, threatening to call the police. I didn't film this because, again, at the time, I was just looking to use the bathroom, and I have no reason to film any of that. I pleaded with the guard that he just show me where the bathroom was, and told him that I was just on a road trip stretching my legs passing through, but he kept calling me a liar, threatening to dial the police. Another customer walked up and was able to calm the situation down, and the guard finally showed me where the bathroom was. When I came back out from the bathroom, I was immediately embarrassed at how blatantly obvious the bathroom sign was in big blue neon letters, and that I didn't see that before. But the guard was standing near the railing waiting for me, telling me to leave, which I did, but only after I had a few words with the gentleman on my way out. I've been caught in malls for taking pictures before, a few times. Most notably, the incident that I had at the Indiana Mall, with Kyle the mall cop, or whatever his name was, because he wouldn't tell me his name. But at Gwinnett Place, I legitimately was just looking for a bathroom, and this guy was so paranoid that he thought I was trying to do something uncouth. I'm sure that this mall, in its fame, has had issues in the past with people vandalizing the Starcourt set or hiding bodies in the back of a subway. So this guy was probably on edge and told by Moonbeam to be extra vigilant, but I was pretty taken aback because in my mind, I knew I was right. And frankly, I was kind of upset with the guy because he was blocking me from using the bathroom, and that's all I wanted to do. So my initial reaction was to ask him his name so I could call his boss and file a complaint against the guy, because he was super, super rude. And despite me calmly trying to de-escalate the situation, he persisted and still called me a liar, still had his phone out with the cops dialed on it, threatening to press the call button. It was a pretty tense situation, and I would say it was much more tense than the situation I had at Indiana Mall, because at Indiana, I had already left, but at Gwinnett, the guy was preventing me from using a bathroom on a super long road trip, and that wasn't cool. Now, in all fairness to the mall management, their security guard has every right to not let me use the bathroom, but he had no reason to think of me as a perpetrator. I wasn't shoplifting, I wasn't vandalizing anything, I was just looking for a bathroom, but to wit, the guy was a complete knob.
I'm leaving. What's your name? What's your name? What's your boss's name? Because you treated me incredibly rudely. No, you listen. I was looking for the bathroom, sir.
I don't listen to you.
I was looking for the bathroom and you threatened you were going to call the cops?
I'm authorized to...
Dude, I don't live here. I live in Baltimore. I don't know this area.
But that's
and you're looking, and you're trying to call the cops because I'm looking for a bathroom?
That's what you should not go trespass. It's not.
I was looking for a bathroom. Do you want to go smell it? You're not going to give me your name?
You are coming from.
I'll ask this guy.
You are coming from. Please leave the premises.
What's your name?
It's not your business.
He's threatening to call the cops on me because I'm looking for a bathroom. What's his name?
I don't know the security. He's in charge of the security.
I know, and I told him I just wanted to go to the bathroom.
Responsibility, whatever he does, that's
All I want to know is his name so I could talk to his boss.
Yeah, you can talk to the cops, you can talk to the management.
So you guys are all in the cahoots together. So rude.
Please leave the premises.
I'll leave.
I really do get why mall managers decide to target photographers. They want to keep their online directories out of date, promoting their big lie that the mall is well occupied and maintained. They obfuscate the truth from shoppers and potential tenants and investors. But at Gwinnett Place, it was on its deathbed. The Starcourt set was gone, and the mall was already mid-transaction to a new owner. On one hand, he had every right to kick me out. But on the other hand, the dude was a tool. But I still left. To all of you security guards out there watching this video, I need you to listen to me really closely for a second. Neither me nor my colleagues in DMOD spending our money and time to peacefully catalog and document these places have any malicious intent or desire to vandalize them. We just want to take some pictures to preserve the memories because your malls are closing and your management hasn't been able to face that. And when these malls are gone, they're gone. So mall security guards out there, you need to have a little bit more chill because we're here to preserve memories, not to make trouble. I'd like to thank all of you for watching my video, with a special thanks to my very good buddy, Anthony from Ace's Adventures for the extra footage. Also, thanks to my patrons and elite explorers who contribute directly to my series. If you guys want to follow me between episodes, check me out on Instagram and Twitter. My handle is @SalvatoreAmadeo, along with my website, salvatoreamadeo.com, where I post blog entries for these episodes. Make sure to also join the Dead Malls of Discord server, where we have a good time all the time. If you're into my content, please also consider subscribing to my channel and ringing the bell for all future content. It's free, it's rad, it takes a lot of time and energy to produce, and there's a ton more coming. So stop lurking and hit that subscribe button, because you may as well just do it at this point, if we're being honest. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with ExLog 83. But until then, stay safe out there, guys. Take care, and have a fantastic day.
crossroads.
Mama's ready. One.
Oops.